Hello, 1B family. So I wanted to send out a quick little video talking a little bit about Edsby and Google Classroom and what we're going to be using them for this year with our 1B class. So first of all, Google Classroom, if you are not connected to Google Classroom yet, you need to be. This is where I will post everything for students. So parents and students, but student specific things. So, for example, if your child is missing because they're unwell and they've missed a day of school, that work that we've done that day will be posted into Google Classroom. So when you log in to Google Classroom and you join our One Bouvier 2021-2022, at the top you have a couple of different tabs, and one of them, mine looks a little bit different, but one of them is called Classwork. When you click on Classwork, you're going to see this is where the absence work is posted. And if we have a student away one day, you'll notice that there will be a date. So if your child was away today, we had a couple kids away today. Today's date is Friday, August 27th. You'll be able to click on that link, and opening up down below here is all the information. Now, sometimes it's hard to read, so it's best to click the button at the bottom that says View Materials. So I'll show you again. Here's the date, and if you click that, and at the bottom it says View It, open it up, then it makes it nice and big so you can see everything that's here. I'll give some description of some things that are attached. It'll give some things that we reviewed in class, and then there will be a PDF with all the worksheets that we would have done in class, so you can print those off and have your child do them. Today we also did a couple of videos together, so I will post those videos that are there as well. And then something like we reviewed our phonograms, or here's the new words for today. Once we start new words, those things will be also here. So if your child is ever awake because they are sick, this is where you will get the work that they missed for that day. Some things, of course, like assessments or things that we do in our journal, you won't be able to do those off of here because our journals are at school, or assessments and tests I don't send home and they won't have them at home. So those things they'll just get caught up with when they come back to school and they're feeling better. But this other stuff, they can work on at home. I don't need any of these worksheets returned to school. It's more just for the children to practice at home and to make sure they understand what they're doing. If you're not sure what to do with some of the sheets, you can always send me a message and I can give you more information about that. So for example, if we take a look here, today we have our morning sheet. So that's a sheet we do every morning. Then we talked about how many letters are in our name, and we represented those numbers and letters in a different way. We did our calendar sheet today. We did the months of the year. We cut them out and glued them on. And then we talked about different ways to read. So those are the attachments that are there today. Now, the other thing that's important to note in our Google Classroom, also under the Classwork tab, phonograms. I will post phonogram videos that you can use to review your phonograms. Every day you should be reviewing your phonograms at home. Next week, we're going to start getting more into the routine of homework, and that's one thing that you need to be doing is reviewing your phonograms at home. If you have the deck of phonogram cards, that's a great way to review. If you don't, here's some videos that I have created, and you can have your child watch them and say the phonograms along with me. One of the phonograms, the longest one, is where I say the phonograms and they need to write them out. So it's kind of like the reverse. Instead of seeing it and saying it, they hear it and write it. So you can practice your phonograms that way. The other thing that will be in Google Classroom is on the stream. So any announcements that are specific for kids or kids and parents, I'll post here. So for example, there's a posting here about letter formation and how to do their letter strokes. So if you're noticing that your child is struggling with forming correct letters, there's a sheet posted on how to hold their page, how to hold their pencil, and then what they need to be doing to form the letters correctly. That's in our Google Stream. There's also a quick video that I had made about the letter strokes. So if you're not sure about the letter strokes, there's another video there too. So that's something that I will post in the Google Classroom stream. If there's updates about something like it's a casual day or something else that's student related, that will be posted in our Google Classroom. If it's just parent information, anything that's just parent information will be in Edsby. Now, if we're looking at Edsby, this is just parent information on Edsby. I don't post anything else on Edsby, like student notes for student or information about classwork. This is specific parent information. So if there's a post about like the My Bus Stop app or the agenda pages for parents to read, or the Friday messages that come out from administration, all of that will be through Edsby. Also through Edsby is our communication. Now, we've been doing it via email, and that's fine for me to continue as well, but you can also contact me via Edsby through that little mail thing. That's where you can communicate with me instead of email. I know that Edsby wasn't working for very many people for a long time, and so we kind of started emailing, and that's okay too. But that's what Edsby is for. I only use Edsby specifically for parent information just directed at parents. But if we're looking for homework for kids or things for kids to practice or specific to our classroom, what's going to be happening in our classroom and kids need to know it, all of that will be posted on Google Classroom. So I know that's kind of two things that you need to check, but if you kind of remember that distinguishing characteristic, if it's for kids, it's in Google Classroom. If it's solely for parents, you're going to find it in Edsby. The other thing that you'll see in Google Classroom is sometimes I'll post photos of our classwork or of our class doing things. Those will be posted in the stream. So the first page that you see when you come to Google Classroom, that's called the stream. And I will sometimes post photos of our class there or classwork along with other postings like this. And then again, in the classwork section, that's where you'll find if your child was absent, the work that they need to catch up on, as well as some practicing with the phonograms. If next week when we start doing some homework, that will also be posted into Google Classroom as well in the Classwork tab. And I'll send out another video next week once we start that, so you know exactly what to do with that. As always, any questions, let me know. We made it to Friday. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all on Monday.